Okay, Hurricane Simon has been destroyed by the Baja Haarp transmitter, and this was done to keep all the rain out of Southern California and also to protect the Haarp transmitter facility itself. 2 days ago, well, today's October 6, 2014, and 2 days ago, Hurricane Simon was right in this area here, and it was a Category 4 with 130 mile an hour winds. And as it has moved closer to the Haarp transmitter, it has not only weakened, but has literally been blown apart. Let me show you one reason why it weakened. This water here is it has cooled off a lot as this storm has moved towards the transmitter here. Here we have 84-degree water where it was a Category 4. Here it's 77, 78 degrees. So we expect it to weaken some, but not to literally turn off the way it did. Let me show you what happened to it. Here's the visible satellite picture. Daybreak, October 6th, and it looks like a good tropical storm. Well, anyway, this looks good, but it's being downbursted right here. So this is a false image. Midday, it looks like this. Invisible light, you can see it looks a little bit fuzzy, kind of strange. And then at dusk, it's actually blown apart and gone, but it still looks like this, like a tropical storm. So if we go to water vapor mode, at daybreak, we see this. Okay, the storm is not rotating anymore. It should have counterclockwise rotation. And the only place there's a little bit of low pressure left is here. And what we see here, this is the Haarp downburst. This is an area of dry air that's being pressed to the surface. Here's the Haarp transmitter. They're trying to protect it from 60, 70 mile an hour winds. And the way they're doing that is by downbursting behind the storm. This creates a clockwise motion because descending air is always going to turn clockwise. So that is going to help push this storm to the right. If we jump ahead a couple hours, we have this, still downbursting, and jump ahead some more. Okay, now this is actually the end of the day, and this is different. They have stopped downbursting, but if you look at these clouds here, this water vapor map, nothing is turning counterclockwise. They have broken the storm up completely. And let me prove to you that this is actually descending air, because we have these maps here, which is the vertical velocity map. At 850 millibars, that's 5,000 feet. So here we go. Now, here's the point on Baja, and here we have rising air. Purple is rising, yellow is rising. Rising air, and here's this little spot here of falling air. This gray is falling air, descending air. 10,000 feet, even more pronounced. Here's this area of rising air. And this is also 18 Zulu, about mid-afternoon, early afternoon. Here's this rising air. Here's this falling air. And 300 millibar, 30,000 feet. We have this area of rising air here, and this circular piece of falling air. So that's actually really excellent evidence of the Haarp downburst, because there's no reason that you should have this column of falling air extending from 30,000 feet all the way down to 5,000 feet. The reason, let me show here. Now, late in the afternoon, about 3 hours before sunset, they stopped downbursting it here. Except for you can see one little bubble popping on top of this storm. You can see a little bit of a Haarp downburst there. But they abandoned this because, number one, they've managed to protect the transmitter. They've turned it, and so it will not be experiencing any high winds. And number two is they have now succeeded in keeping all of the rain out of California. Here's the forecast map for the path of this hurricane or tropical depression. And here is the border with California. Here's the border with Mexico. So you can see here's a corner of California. They have completely succeeded in keeping every drop of rain out of California. And the reason that they focused on that so highly was, here's the midday jet stream map. And what we can see here is the jet stream in this area is actually blowing to the north. So if they had not destroyed this storm, it would have been carried to the north, and even in California here we see jet stream blowing weakly to the north. This storm would have gone into Southern California and brought drenching rains. You can see this jet stream here is actually blowing to the north. So this storm, Tropical Storm Simon, would have brought rain to Southern California. Good soaking rain. And so this, even though this looks so innocent, so innocuous, this is an eco-terrorist attack. It doesn't look like much on the satellite map, but this is a terrorist attack on California. It certainly doesn't look like anything tremendously detrimental, but it is. And the final point in this, and this is quite amazing, 3 hours before sunset, they stopped the HAARP downburst. Now the reason for that is that this HAARP transmitter has been devoted for 3 days to kill this Tropical Storm Simon. And what they've done now, they've gone back on task, because the HAARP transmitter, the main function during the winter is to maintain the polar vortex, the stationary high pressure here, 1,000 miles west of California. And since they have neglected this for 3 days, been off on the other job, this has started to turn counterclockwise. You can see this is building up into a low pressure, and they can't have that. So as quickly as possible, they left the Tropical Storm Simon alone and gone back on task to rebuild the high pressure here. In fact, we can see a whole lot of aerosol trails being laid up here, and this is to inhibit this from building into a low pressure up here, because that forms the hot air layer, stops any low pressure from building. So we will now see the Baja Haarp transmitter go back to transmitting in this area to stop this low pressure from building and keep the polar vortex, this extreme fold, permanent fold in the jet stream, in this shape here. Okay, and that's what's happened on October 6th, and I can assure you nobody was supposed to see this. This is not something that anybody is supposed to be seeing, but here it is. It's public now. You guys in California, you have every right to know about this. And that was basically all I wanted to say. Okay, thanks for watching.